Hello everybody, this is Mr. Morphetto, and today I want to talk about Neji Hyuga from the Naruto franchise, and I want to talk about how Naruto Shippuden really underutilized this amazing character, and how they really dropped the ball with Neji in Naruto Shippuden. But before I get to that, if you could please like and subscribe to my Mr. Morphetto YouTube page, that would be absolutely fantastic. And possibly comment on this video. Tell me what you thought. It helps me out quite a bit. But Neji Hyuga, they truly did not use his character properly in Shippuden. I believe he was one of the best supporting characters in OG Naruto when they were in the Chunin exams. Hands down, one of the coolest characters, one of the best mini quote-unquote villains, I guess, antagonists for Naruto to compete with early on in his ninja career. Such a good obstacle for him to overcome in the Chunin exams. Not only that, they totally redeem Neji during the Sasuke retrieval arc, making him a absolute badass. He was already a badass in the Chunin exams. He was just kind of a dick, and he had some weird ideas that he wanted to get across that he realized were wrong when he found out the truth about his father. So he had a change in personality, and you almost feel for the guy after what happened to his dad. And after that, everything started going well for the dude. So when he decided to help out in the Sasuke retrieval arc, who wasn't hyped for that? And when he went up against Kidomaru, I believe, the spider fella, that was hands down the best fight out of the fights with the Sound 4. I would say the only one that even competes is Kimimaro, but he also had the luxury of going toe-to-toe with Naruto for a bit. Then he got to fight Rock Lee in his return fight, and then finally he got to fight Gaara in his first babyface fight. So he had 3 opportunities to really show off, while this fight here with Neji and Kidomaru, I would think that the fans, when they first saw it, were like, okay, this is going to be cool, but it's not the last fight, so it's not the best fight. But no way, shape, or form. This battle was great. And you know, another thing about Neji's fight and Choji's fight is they didn't get help from the Sand Ninjas. They didn't get help from anybody in their fights. They had to go all out on their own. And it really proves how powerful Neji was. He was dealing with a long-range fighter. This isn't the subject, but it was a great battle. One of the best fights in all of Naruto, to be honest. But in Naruto Shippuden, when it was time to bring Neji back into the story, they do it in a way that you think he doesn't get an opportunity to fight any main villains, really. He comes in to help out with the retrieval of Gaara from the Akatsuki early on, and he doesn't get to do a whole lot there. He fights a copy of himself off screen. He assists in a fight with Kisame, which was cool that he showed off that he was able. I think he was the one that was able to actually break free from Kisame's water prison by using his Byakugan abilities. I believe that's how it went down. But really, Neji deserved a win over an Akatsuki member, at least, in Naruto Shippuden. I've always thought that he deserved to be the one to beat Kisame. If not him, then Rock Lee. But the thing is, there's no way to redeem this. That pretty much after this mission, they bench Neji, or they put him in off-screen fights, or they put him in filler fights. Like the fight with the Sound 4 when they were resurrected during the War Arc, which was a filler fight. Which really didn't do a whole lot for him, which is insane because they had opportunity after opportunity for this guy to show his new leadership abilities as a Jonin. By the way, he was a Jonin now, and he was still following Might Guy, Rock Lee, and Ten, and he still filled that role of teammate and much better than ever. But he was at the same level. Status-wise as my guy. It would have been interesting if him being, I believe, the only Jonin out of our Genin, or from the original Naruto, he could have started training his own set of Genin. That would have been cool if they had introduced him as with his first set of Genin. That'd have been cool to see that. I mean, they didn't have to do that. That's one thing Shippuden really dropped the ball with, is developing these amazing characters like Rock Lee, like Neji, who were both up there in power, like right behind Sasuke and Naruto. And they really built them up properly in OG Naruto, but then they just kind of let them stay stagnant, even though they both, one became a Chunin and Neji became a Jonin, like I said, and they didn't do anything with him except stuff off screen. I don't understand. One of the opportunities they had was for him to be the one to take down Kisame at some point during the story, or any member of the Akatsuki. Out of all the Leaf Genin from OG Naruto, I feel like Neji was really being built up as the Piccolo of this show, the man who was the rival of the main protagonist, but then turned babyface and then became a major ally. They should have given Neji the Shikamaru treatment, like they did, where he got a whole arc to develop, and Asuma paid the ultimate price, and Shikamaru got to redeem himself by defeating Hidan. Perfect way to do that. They should have done that with every one of the support characters that they could fit. And using the Akatsuki as stepping stones for these characters would have been great. I don't believe that Sasuke needed to be the one to beat Deidara, because he already got the opportunity to beat Itachi. And I don't believe that Naruto needed to be the one to put down Kakazu, because Naruto was going to be the one to beat Pain. They didn't need those wins. They could have still had a fight with these characters and filled that if necessary to move the plot along and whatnot, but they didn't need to be the ones to actually kill these major villains in Naruto Shippuden. They could have allowed that victory. Could you imagine if Neji was the one to beat Kakazu? That'd have been sick. I'm trying to think if he was even there. No, he was not even involved in that battle, but they could have found a way to write him into that. Him and Deidara could have went at it. Deidara could have survived his fight with Sasuke and then ended up in a battle with Neji at some point and been put down by Neji, because Neji's a badass. He's a Jonin. Do I have to repeat this? A Jonin. He's on the level of Might Guy and Kakashi, or right below that. He status-wise, he should have been at least training the next generation. It would have been interesting if he did have some Genin that were following him as a squad. So then later on, when they kill off Neji, they have a kid that looked up to him that they could push, like, oh, I was trained by Neji Hyuga, and he was killed. And then in Boruto, they could have developed this kid that grew up to be a badass who, represented Neji in a way. That'd have been kind of a cool little story arc there. Not necessary, but it would have been a cool way to have a character that was connected to Neji and it would have made sense, and they would have gave him some type of character development. all in all, Neji deserved more screen time in Naruto Shippuden. They really sidelined the guy. He wasn't even there in the village when Pain and Conan attacked. And I see that as a total lost opportunity. Because Neji could have been someone who could have held Pain off before Naruto showed up, or someone that could have fought Pain after, or fought Pain before Hinata showed up to help Naruto. They could have both been there helping Naruto. A little team up of the Hyugas. That would have been a sick move there, having Neji and Hinata involved with the trying to save Naruto. But I guess it wouldn't have gotten across how much she loved him. But it didn't really matter, because after that, they didn't, for a long period of time, they didn't dive into Naruto and Hinata's relationship anyway. That still would have been cool to see the duo. It would have been cool to see Neji built up as a main character, more of a main character. So then when he made the ultimate sacrifice at the end of Shippuden against Madara and Toby, or whatever's Obito, it would have felt more. Yes, we all hurt for Neji's death, but it also just felt out of nowhere. It didn't feel earned. It was nice to actually see a character die in this giant war, like a main character. But he didn't feel too much like a main character. He didn't get a badass fight in the war arc either. He could have fought his father. His father was resurrected. His father fought his brother, his twin brother, in off screen, which is ridiculous. They brought a few people back in the Sasuke retrieval arc that really didn't serve a purpose. And to me, that's ridiculous. Neji could have fought Kimimaru, who was also resurrected and didn't get to really do a whole lot on screen. That would have been a sick fight, seeing Kimimaru and Neji go at it. Damn. You're telling me you wouldn't want to see that? You're a liar. You are a fibber. But Neji deserved more in Naruto Shippuden. They dropped the ball. They underutilized this amazing character. I'm just spitballing ideas that could have been done. There's got to be a reason he just did not want to use him and a few other characters. I feel like he built up all these amazing characters that the real foundation to why people loved Naruto. People, of course, love Naruto and Sasuke, and they're great. But I really think the reason that Naruto became one of the biggest anime, one of the biggest manga of all time, is because of the supporting cast. Similar to how My Hero Academia is. They have a great supporting cast. Izuku Midoriya is great, but he couldn't by himself lead this. That's with a lot of shonen anime, to be honest. I'm a big side character guy. I'm a big supporter of pushing these characters that built this. And I think Neji was one of them. Neji is a character people really, really liked. At one point, he was one of the characters that people were like, that's my favorite character. And then when Naruto Shippuden happened and they did absolutely nothing with his character other than kill him, I think people lost that, oh, he's my favorite character. They still said, oh, I really liked him back in Naruto, but not Naruto Shippuden. They had to rank him down in their personal favorites list, if you want to call it that. And it sucks because they killed him, which there's nothing... I love when a character's killed and it's earned, and it's full of the feels, but it feels like it wasn't earned. It was out of nowhere. It just felt like the writer was just thinking, I'm going to kill him to make a big splash, to make headlines, because I haven't killed anybody major during this whole war, which is kind of ridiculous to think about how massive this war was and no other major characters passed. I think Neji deserved a better death. To be honest, I think he could have still died and made a bigger impact. Neji deserved more. I mean, that's plain and simple. He deserved more. He was a great character. He could have fought his father. He could have fought a member of the Akatsuki and actually beat them, killed them, arrested him, whatever. Neji taking on, like I've said, I want to talk about this more. Neji versus Pain would have been sick. Not one of the other Pains. He could have been one of the... Neji could have been a character to kill one of the Pains, just like how Kakashi took out one of the Pains. And how Konohamaru took out one of the Pains. They could have done that, and it would have given a boost to his, like, oh, he can compete with 1/6 of the Pains. Even though I feel like Neji would have been a great character to take on all of the Pain, the 6 paths of Pain, and be able to hold his own for a little while, because he's got the rotation gimmick. That would have been a sick shot of him blowing them all away. It's sad that they dropped the ball with him. We all love what he did in original Naruto, and we all love that character for that. But there's never going to be an opportunity for them to redeem Neji's use because he's dead. And there's no reason to bring him back. It would just feel unearned, I guess you'd say. Unless they bring him back in some type of Edo Tensei way, and he's a controlled zombie, and you get to see him again, and him to have a fight with either Hinata or Naruto or Boruto. That'd be kind of interesting, and kind of get some closure there. But it still wouldn't make up for the lack of use in Naruto Shippuden. Naruto Shippuden was the big hurrah for Naruto, the franchise. And I don't believe Boruto's ever going to be as big as Naruto was. So I don't believe we'll ever get to see that peak that Neji could have hit. And that death, that meaningful death. It meant something to the people who still loved his character, even though he wasn't written correctly. But it could have meant more to the whole fandom. Yeah, that's it. That's my grievance. That's all I wanted to say. I like Neji Hyuga. Dope-ass character. Wasted in Naruto Shippuden. But I'm Mr. Morfetto. Please like this video. Give me a comment. Let me know what you thought of Neji's demise, and if it meant a lot to you, if they used his character properly in Naruto Shippuden, because obviously they did not. I'll talk to you later.